off at all, especially today. You go to the bank, you don't get cash. You get it entered into your account, and you can draw on that by writing another check. So there's no bank. So what Rothschild did was to enable an institution to lend more money than it has. They raised a capital about 100 million, but they lent that 100 million to some country which needs the money to fight the war. But they still could lend another 100 million. They had only 100 million, but they lent 200 million. Oh, why stop at 200 million? Nobody knows. So lend 300 million, 400 million, and now it is 30 times. And see, of course, bankers do not talk much about this. I had to discover this, that they don't have any money, they're lending money which doesn't exist and all that. Because I always wonder why they have so much money. You know, they leverage by 20 times, 30 times. They seem to have a lot of money. The first thing that a bank, once you start a bank, the first thing that it does is to build a big building. I mean, where does the money come from to build a building? So, when you give an institution the power to make money, to create money, you give a great power to that institution. And the bankers of Europe used to finance wars. They finance both sides. You see, I mean, that is a way of hedging also. It doesn't matter which side. I think during the election, the people who donate money also donate to both sides. So the banker never lose money. It doesn't matter. Whichever one side wins, they can collect money, more money than they lend. So this power to create money can be abused. And what we are seeing today is many ways of abusing the power to create wealth, to create money and to create wealth. We need the credit, we need to have the capital, because business is expanding all the time. It's expanding at a faster rate than the amount of money available in circulation. So somebody must create the money. Here, of course, we see the central bank creates the money, but the central bank probably prints the money. But ordinary banks also create money. Am I wrong? No answer. I suspect, I'm suspicious. But when you have power, the one thing that you should learn is that power corrupts. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And what is happening to America and Europe is the corruption of power. Because they can create money, they create too much money, and they fiddle around with the money. But they say, well, even if you finance housing and the house doesn't go up at all, it doesn't matter. On average, you still can get some money back. These actuarial science and all that, people have to learn that it's all right. Even if they don't pay back, some of them will pay back, will make the money. And if they don't pay, you can always repossess the property. And then one day they find that they couldn't repossess the property because there was no property. They were lending to people. I mean, in this country, bankers are very reluctant to lend money. When you go to Australia, you go to America, they come to you, banks come to you and offer to lend you money. Am I right? I don't know. Because this is not I'm a politician, you ask me to talk. You ask me to talk about banking, it's very difficult for me. And I'm always suspicious of other people. I don't trust trust anybody, not even politicians. So I suspect that the banks create money and the land is created money. So if you can create 10 times what you have, why not 30 times? So the temptation is very great to abuse the power that you have by creating much more money. And now it is quite open because quantitative easing is about creating money. You print money, not print actually. I kept on explaining to people, you cannot print $30 billion. It's a lot of money. You have to use a whole caravan of these armored cars to carry this money. Do you ever see the caravan? No. It's all transferred electronically now. These are figures in the bank books. So just imagine, you give power to people to add zeros, to add nothing and make something. The temptation to be corrupted by that power is very, very great. And when people abuse power, one day they will have to face the consequence. And what we are seeing today in Europe and America is the consequence of abuses of corruption. Lots of people say these countries like Malaysia, developing countries, are corrupt. Well, I will admit that we have corruption in this country, no doubt. But the scale is relatively small compared to the corruption carried out by governments of the developed countries, of America, Europe, and all that. They are corrupted. So if you are going to move forward, you are going to you carry out reformacy or because that you will have to ask Anwar to speak here. He knows more about reformacy than I do. See, but if we want to transform this country in any way, we should avoid the mistakes of Europe and America. Learn about these mistakes. They have made very big mistakes, and they don't even want to admit it, but they have made mistakes. The reason why we got through the currency crisis is that we refuse to accept their advice, because we think they are, well, they're not being honest. They tell us to do all kinds of things, which when we study carefully would only make matters worse. Lots of people ask, why is it that we don't follow the IMF and the World Bank? Everybody else is following. But everybody else follows not because they think it works, but because this comes from great institutions. So they must be right. But we didn't believe in great institutions. We believe that when a country proposes something, it is for the good of that country. Today we have a lot of new ideas. We have APEC, for example, we have WTO, and now we have TPP. Again, here, money will be involved. When the country proposes the TPP, do you believe that it is for our good or for their good? I think it is not for our good, it is for their good. The reason why they want to have us sign the treaty is because then they can have access